we're not mean to people. We just have fun.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I have tears in my eyes.
Yeah, same here.
Now what?
So the line of the shirt I want to make a little more precise. So let's make the brush a little smaller.
Okay.
And we'll use a straight-edged brush. Let's do about 19. That's a good size. So I'm going to paint black as accurately as I can. Actually, you know what? Let's just use the lasso tool again. That way I can be as precise as I'd like.
Oh, wow.
And I'll cut out my neck too.
So you're just kind of clicking around in circles to complete that.
And if I hit Alt-Delete, it's going to fill it with the color in the foreground.
Which is black.
Which is black. So that doesn't really look right. So we'll just take a little bit more off. I'm not used to doing this with a mouse. Bear with me, folks. Okay, so I'm going to make a brush a little bit bigger, and I'm going to take the opacity and the flow down so that it's just going to kind of blend in what I'm doing. Wow, I can't do anything with this stupid mouse.
Or maybe you just can't do anything at all. You ever think about that?
It's possible.
Oh, look at you.
Where is, we could just do this in reverse.
What?
Okay, so I'm just going to get that whole area out.
Okay.
And, I will white out, or make opaque, the inside.
How did you do that?
I painted further than I should have, and then I just did the opposite on the inside.
How do you like change it?
You just switch from white to black.
Oh, on the left thing. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now my neck is matched up a little better with the neck of the shirt. So the next thing we want to do is
47.
Although it is kind of funny looking with me having bangs, I probably shouldn't have those.
All right. You gonna get rid of your bangs?
We'll get rid of the bangs. So I could either make the attempt of just using her bangs, or her whatever, and then trying to match the skin colors, but it's probably not going to work so well. Oh, that's funny looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this clone tool here, the rubber stamp tool, clone tool, depends on what you want to call it, what version you're using. And if I hold down Alt, you'll see a little target icon. So when I click the target icon, I'm putting a marker there. Now the next place I click, it's going to hold where that marker was and paint where that marker was where I'm now going to click. So you can see the little crosshair to the left.
Yeah.
That's the source, and the circle is where I'm actually painting that source.
Oh, wow.
So I can actually just paint whatever's over there here. Now it's not painting because I have the layer, the mask layer selected, so I'm going to select the actual picture. And you'll see I'm actually just painting out using skin tones from the other, from over the side. And when you're using the stamp tool, you want to change up where your source is, otherwise you'll have patterns of things repeat.
Right.
And it'll look kind of funny.
So what you're doing is you're just letting go of what, Control or Alt?
Yeah, I'm actually just holding Alt to pick a new source, clicking, and then clicking to the next spot I want to paint.
Yeah, just moving around to keep it.
Keep it fresh. 'Cause I'm so fresh and clean, so fresh and so clean, clean.
You're really starting to look pretty, Brian. I like your eyebrows. I mean,
Yeah,
those are nice.
I have the coolest eyebrows ever. My hope is, some people have said like, yeah, you can like get those trimmed up.
You mean trimmed down?
Or right, there you go. But I want to be one of those guys where like when I'm 60, I have like the wings coming off my head. So that's actually what I'm aiming for. So if you wonder like, what the hell's wrong with him? Why does he have eyebrows like that? There's nothing wrong with me. I just want huge bushy eyebrows that are gray when I'm older.
Are you going to be one of those old men that have like hair shooting out of your ears?
Yeah. And it takes a while to grow those, so I'm getting...
It takes like 60 years?
Oh yeah, so really, and like, so the stamp tool does a pretty good job of...
Wow, look at that, dude. That is crazy.
So now I have no more hair.
Oh, wow.
Although it's a little speckled. I kind of rushed it a little bit, but it doesn't matter. For the sake of this picture, it's okay. So there's a line.
Why is there like a... Why am I messed up looking?
Well, because there's still some...
Because God hates me, but besides that...
There's still some of the original picture that hasn't been completely painted out. So I'll just touch that up.
With what?
I just did the black paint on the layer mask. And I just took it out.
I never knew anything about layer masks. This is the first time I've heard of this.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Now, the next thing I want to do is change my skin tone so it matches my hand.
You mean Molly's hand? That's not your hand. I hate to break it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Ring on there is not yours.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I have the layer selected, so I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and Levels. That's the first thing I'm going to change. So what the levels are is you have 2 points down here from complete black to complete white. Now this point matches this point, like white to white, black to black. So this histogram is like a graph of how many completely black pixels there are compared to the entire picture. How many like mid-range? It's just grayscale. It's like it converts the picture grayscale, and this is how many complete white, how many complete black. So if we pull this back in, you'll notice that it gets really white because we're saying now that there's this much of white.
You mean your face, that layer?
Well, because we selected that layer.
Right.
But you know you can do this on any layer. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So I just want to have the kind of like the light values of my face match the light values of your face a little better. So by moving this, I'm actually saying that the lightest possible value is where this is. So I'm taking down the complete white a little bit. I'm going to add a little contrast by dragging the slider out to the right from the middle, so the mid-range is like weighted towards light.
That's starting to look really cool.
And actually I don't really want to change that much. Okay, so that's roughly what we're looking for. So the next thing we want to do is replace the color. So we'll go to Image Adjustments, Replace Color. Let me get this on the screen here. Okay, so we have the eyedropper tool, or the color picker. We'll pick a color on my head, and you can adjust the fuzziness level for the threshold of how close the color we selected should be to what the actual selection is. So we'll get about there. It looks like it's more or less my face. So we can take the saturation down a little bit. Maybe not quite that much. Take the lightness down a little. Change the hue some. And keep in mind we're trying to match the hand on the bottom. So maybe actually...
He has a lot of work to do. We're trying to make Brian look like an Indian.
So I'll take the lightness down a little bit.
Hey Molly, look.
Alright, so that's...
Look at your face.
So that's roughly... That's roughly the same-ish color. More or less. And
good work.
The last thing that I want to do is the nose just doesn't fit.
So your nose just doesn't fit.
It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't, like, you know, it just kind of it's not feminine. It's not a feminine nose.
Yeah, you got a good point.
So although the nose is going to look even like more messed up once I put this one on.
Yeah, how do you undo? What was that?
Control Z.
Nah.
It's kind of universal.
It's pretty standard, yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to make it so it's not 100% flow, and we're just going to kind of see if we can just... I'm going to make my nose all like lopsided and weird. I don't really care.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, so I actually want to maintain like just a little bit of my nose. So I'm going to switch this to white, and tet, 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 tet. I want the reflections to be consistent.
It also looks straighter when you do that too, because it doesn't completely match up with her nose.
Right. I just don't want that line there. So if I can just find a happy medium, which I won't.
At least not in the short span of time that we have.
Yeah. So that's about close enough. So that's how you Photoshop your head on somebody else.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that all?
That's about it. Hope you
Okay.
enjoyed the tutorial. Now go put your head on a skinny person, because if you're sitting at a computer watching these, you're obviously a fat ass.
Like us.
Seek rest out.